So how's this new essay going? So I see that you've got your plan for your new essay. Is that right? Where is it? Here, with soccer, right? So what's your big idea for this essay?
My big idea is soccer is a good sport.
Soccer is a good sport. So where are you at in the writing process right now? Conferring plays a really important role in formative assessment because I think it's the best way for me that I can learn about the writer and also about the writing. If I only were concerned about the writing, I can just take their writer's notebooks home every night and take notes, and then teach a mini lesson and let them work, and then take their writing notebooks home, take notes, do a mini lesson, and continue in that pattern. But it's when I get to observe them, obviously during the writing workshop, and watch what they're doing, and then talk with them when I really start to understand them as writers.
Right now, I'm in my second paragraph.
Okay, so you finished your first one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what would you like me to do to support you today? Do you want me to read, do you want to read your first paragraph and see if I have any advice for you, or do you want to talk about your plan for your second one? What would you like to do?
I'll read my first paragraph.
Okay. And then is it okay if I give you advice if I notice something you may add? Is that okay? Okay, so go ahead and read your first paragraph.
Soccer is a good sport because me and Edwin always get to play against each other, and when it's recess time, me and Edwin dash to the soccer field. Edwin has his team ready and I have mine. Edwin wins most of the time, but at least we have fun. And Edwin has fun. Edwin has all the good guys, and I don't.
What do you mean by he always has the good guys and you don't?
He always has the good guys on his team.
Oh, on his team. By good guys, you mean what do you mean by good
Good
guys?
soccer
The
players.
good soccer players. But you still have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? So one thing that you've done a really good job of is that even though you don't always win, you really help the reader to believe that you think soccer is a great sport. Okay. And I also noticed that Edwin is part of this piece as well, so he's really important. Joshua and Edwin are sitting next to each other, and it's clear that they're friends because of the topics that they write about. And that was intentional on the classroom teacher's part because she found that students often support each other in their writing, and Joshua and Edwin are certainly an example of that. From idea generation to even supporting each other as they write, they work very well together and yet can still get their independent writing finished every day. Because you want to get down there really, really fast. One thing I'm wondering about this paragraph, just because it helped this one back here so much, I'm wondering if you could tell about a time, just like here you told about a time you made up a game, that was like a little story. I'm wondering if in this paragraph, could you add a little story about one time that you played against Edwin, but it was still a good time? Can you think about one small story that happened? And if I do ever tell them something, then I try to frame it in terms of telling them something they've done already. So that happened several times in the essay unit today. I would notice that when we were working with the students on essay writing, that in a previous essay students had told a little story or done some really good work with describing. So then when they were showing me their current essay, then a common prompt might be, why don't you add something like this since you already did it over here and you're doing a really good job? I wonder if that would make it stronger here. So if I do actually tell them, do this, then I would say almost 100% of the time it's because they've already done it already, and I just want them to understand that they can use that skill again. So on Friday,
Some of the girls at recess played too, and my teacher, Miss Goodman, and we both had a tie.
And you both had a tie. Now, was that one of the times that you played against Edwin? Would that fit in this topic? Okay.
That was last Friday.
That was last Friday. So I'm wondering if you could add that story in this paragraph. Do you think that would help to add that little story? Okay. So what I'm going to suggest is, I don't want you to do any erasing. Look at this great work you've already done on the second paragraph. Let's put, where do you think that story would belong? Find where you want to start telling that story. Do you want to start it here, or do you want to start it someplace else in the paragraph? First, decide that. Where is that story going to go?
Here.
It's going to go right at the end? It's going to go right at the end? Okay. So what I'm going to do is just put a little mark here, a little star. And then could you write that story on this side? That's why we leave blank room a lot of times on this side of the page. I'm just going to put a little mark here. The same mark is here. Could you write that story right there, and then you'll know where it goes? Okay. And then when you're done with this, you could also circle it and put an arrow over here, just like we talked about last week if you want to. Because this is just our draft. So could you tell us your little story? How's it going to start? Last Friday, what happened?
Last Friday, when I was playing soccer, some of the girls at recess played, and my teacher also played.
Good. And then you had a what?
Tie.
A tie. Okay, so go ahead and get started. Okay. And then I'm going to talk to you.